Hello, everyone, and welcome back. My name is LaShondra Robinson. I am the executive director of the wonderful organization called You Can of Memphis. And we thank you so much for coming along today on our Tribe Thursday. Yes, we have definitely named it Tribe Thursday because we believe we have a village of people who are able to help other individuals in our community. So, what other better way than to closely end this month, which is Mental Awareness Month, with our wonderful guest speaker, Miss Brandy Flynn. Yes, I'm so excited to have her on board today. She is a close friend of mine as well as a wonderful educator. She is professional and she knows exactly what she's talking about when we're dealing with mental health. I've even had to call her for some of our people within our community just to kind of get some insight and direction on what to do. So, of course, we don't keep you long at all, and I want to make sure that we honor your time. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce to you Miss Brandy Flynn. Yay!
Hey!
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming aboard and talking to our community on this Tribe Thursday.
Thank you for having me. Anytime you need me to do something for you, I always clear my schedule for you. And I don't do that for everybody. So
I feel so honored. Believe me, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah,
So
I
when I
know.
say I'm honored, I'm truly honored. So let's start off with our questions. First off, and this is not even one of the questions, but I just want to know, let the people know, who is Brandy Flynn?
Brandy Flynn is so many people, so many titles. I am a mental health therapist where I do own I like to call myself a mental health specialist because I do more than just sit in my chair and ask people, tell me about your problems. Just doing this right here, speaking about mental health, writing about mental health, doing the work, advocating for mental health. So with my practice, which is Brandy J. Flynn Counseling Consulting Services, where I am the owner of it, and I also have a mental health foundation, which is called Breaking the Barriers of Mental Health, where we educate mental health, advocate mental health, and we promote mental health. And we also give people resources and referrals to help them find the right mental health service for them. Mm-hmm. I am also the owner of the B Line. The B Line is it's a product line where I have inspirational coffee mugs, motivation coffee, and I have calming candles. All of these are small business. Everybody who assists me with the B Line are all small business owners, which is a great thing for me. The mugs are sayings of either that I came up with myself or I've heard something and I kind of twisted it. The coffee is locally made. It's just I love coffee. So if you love coffee, it's great for you. And then the candles it just calms you. And I'm also the author of The Balancing Act, which is it's a self-help book for athletes, student athletes, professional athletes, just teaching them how to balance their life in the world of sports. Because what I do, I also work in the sports and entertainment industry. So I think that's it for now. I'll come up with something else. Please don't get me come up with something else.
Man, you know what? That is a lot. And for you to be in the profession that you're in, I'm sure it can be stressful on your end.
It can. I've learned I have to implement balance. I think yesterday was the first in a long time I did nothing. Well, I take that back. I did a little stuff work related, but stuff on my iPad. But mainly, I washed clothes. Me and my mom spent time together. We ate good. Caught up on reality TV. That's my balance. I'm sorry. And so it helped me get ready for this great week that I have. So yeah.
Which leads us into our first question is, what are the types of stress and can you elaborate on them?
The types of stress. I don't know if you're talking about like the medical terms or whatever. I know it's like distress or eustress. So I'm not a medical person, so I don't want to quote the wrong thing. But you can have stress in different variations of your life. Stress with work, stress in your relationships. When I say relationships, not just your significant other, but your friendships, your family. You can have stress for financial stress. You can have stress when when you feel that things are just not going right with you. And to elaborate on them, especially prime example, COVID-19. This has truly affected a lot of people financially. A lot of people weren't prepared for this. It literally came out of nowhere. And then when it came out of nowhere, we didn't expect for it to come to us. So that has hurt a lot of people. So that's a big stressor on its own, which causes some form of mental stress because you're so consumed on how I'm gonna get my bills paid. You're worried about, I got to put my pride aside and go to this food drive, get unemployment. How do I get unemployment? I've never done it. Asking people for money, that's a big stress that I think a lot of people are dealing with right now. And also when we're being in quarantine, being lonely because, when people say we're in this together, we're in this together differently. You got some people, we're in this together, but you got your significant other, you got your children, but then you got some people we're in this together and they all they got. They don't have anybody.
Right.
So stress can happen to people on different levels, to different people. So that's why, just say if me and you are dealing with the same issue, it may stress you differently than it may stress me. So it's not really just a cookie cutter answer for that. Does it make any sense? It's like you really have to elaborate on it. Which
you went in the direction that I definitely wanted you to go into.
Okay.
Which we were talking about the physical, the socially emotional, the financial, the mental part of stress. All of that plays a huge part into what we are going through now with COVID-19.
Yeah.
Even thinking about with our students, the students in their graduation, how they were unable to truly walk across the stage, and now they're doing virtual graduation. Now, on the flip side of that, I saw somewhat of an upside to all of this because we had Barack Obama, we had Michelle Obama, we had a lot of celebrities to come out and actually be like, as you can say, keynote speakers for free.
Yeah.
For free. So you can put that, you can download that into, your computer and say, hey, he spoke at our graduation.
Yeah.
And truly he did, but he spoke to so many other people within the graduation.
He did. And I know that we really have to be mindful for our youth. I've had people that were set to graduate this year from college, a few clients, even a cousin, and they were truly hurt that they couldn't walk across the stage. Now, the people I knew in high school, honestly, they was just like, I'm ready for college, but just sending them a good word. Like I know Saturday, I went to a drive-by graduation, and the look on their face when they saw me, I thought I was gonna cry. It was just to know that people really thought enough of them just to drive by and drop off a gift if you chose to do that or not. So what I've been doing, I've been checking in on them, just asking, how you doing? How are you holding up? You got the, you got the degree. Because let me tell you something. I walked across the stage for my bachelor's degree. I didn't walk across the stage for my master's. And I regret that I didn't walk across from my master's. Even if nobody was coming, because it was out of town. I told my folks, I'm like, y'all good. y'all came to my bachelor's. I'm coming back home anyway. And I think I really wish that I would have done that. But walking across the stage from college and high school, it's different. And I hate that they didn't get that moment. And I hope some form of fashion that the schools come up with a great idea where they can do that for the kids.
Well, I heard that there's a
What you heard?
possibility that they could be doing a graduation maybe in June or so. So they could
Okay.
do like a summer graduation for the students. And I definitely understand the importance of being safe. And I know some of the schools were actually having maybe 10 or less students to graduate at a time.
Yeah.
And they broke it down per school, per class, things like that. And of course, like you said, it's not the same. And students are having to deal with that piece of it. Even for the parents itself, I've seen a lot of social media posts that also talked about from the parents' perspective how they were looking forward to see their child, as you say, graduate and go across the stage. But I will tell them this: in order to lower their stress level for you and
Yes.
the child, just stay positive and know that there is a different way that we can do this, and it will happen later on, just not at your time. And it amazes me, that's how God always do things. It's not what we want; it's what in His time. So you gotta think of it like that.
Yeah, and I think the parents, if they could do something for their kids, like the young lady whose dad built a stage and actually had a graduation.
Yes.
I thought that was awesome. And I've seen people that have done smaller things because, even it's a milestone for the child, it's also a milestone for the parent too. Every parent wants to see their child graduate.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes. So, and with that, especially with that particular topic with the father, because I saw that and I saw the interview that he said how much money he spent, which was a lot. He said, but he'll end up doing it again if he had to.
Oh yeah.
So
exactly.
With society, friends, and family, what do you think are influencers for teens in order for their stress level to go up? What type of influences do they encounter in order for their stress level to go up?
I know one of the stresses was school, because doing the classes online, some kids need that. I don't want to say hovering, but that they need that structure. And so doing it online, they didn't have structure. Yeah, they can have their laptop on, but they can have their phone and be texting or whatever like that, and it gets away from them. But the parents really can't give them that structure because guess what? The parent in another room working. So I think with their grades, wondering, am I going to graduate? Keep my scholarship? And especially student athletes whose spring sport got canceled. So they didn't get to play their senior year, and that probably affected their scholarships for college. I think those are stress levels. But really, the teens that I have talked to, I mean, they're from the ones I talked to, they're not really stressed about it. They just, hey, we at home. But I guess because they don't have to worry about how the bills gonna get paid, how we gonna eat, because they have parents that take care of it. But I do say that if parents bring them into the adult conversation, then that can give them some type of stress or being scared, with the COVID-19 and having them to watch news all day and pandemic documentaries and things like that. Some kids are very impressionable. You have to be mindful of what they watch, and when they do watch it, to kind of dissect what, okay, well, what did you get out of this? Okay, well, this is happening, but we're not going to live in fear, but we're not going to live carelessly.
Right.
We just have to continue. We have to talk to our kids, let the kids know, what's going on and why is it important to social distance. I think some kids don't take it serious. I think a lot of them are not taking it seriously enough. Like, I've been places, I think I drove somewhere and I just saw like a car lot full of people, and I saw like young adults together, and I was just like, oh, okay. But then I remember when I was younger, a lot of times I thought that things wouldn't affect me, but now I'm older, I have to be more careful.
So we really have to watch for teens when we're talking about the influencers. We're looking at from they're looking at us, they're looking at the TV, they're looking at celebrities to see how, one, that maybe they're stressing out, two, how they're dealing with their own personal stress,
Yeah.
and then three, what exactly is the news saying? Should I be stressing out? You know, so
Right.
that plays a huge part, and I know, in fact, for the teen stress as well as parents, which kind of leads into the third question. What are some signs that adults can see that a teen is about to have a nervous breakdown? Because it's so much. I know when we first started this COVID-19, there is no lie, I had a nervous breakdown. I went to Walmart, and I called myself was just gonna go into the store, grab a couple of things. I was looking to make a mask. I was looking for the material to make a mask. Knew exactly what I wanted. I was like, oh, I got a mask. I'll be all right, you know. So I went inside the store. When I say everybody had on the mask, I went straight into anxiety mode. I couldn't think. I couldn't breathe. I had a nervous breakdown. I went into the car, started calling people. I was like, oh, these people got on masks, Lord. I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't breathe. It was like, girl, be quiet and breathe. I really went into an anxiety attack. And that was the first time I've done that in so long that it freaked me out.
Wow.
So with that, if I know me being an adult, I can just imagine what that would look like for teens. And
Right.
how can parents recognize when a teen is about to have a nervous breakdown, regardless if it's COVID-19 or something else, but how can they recognize a person who's about to have a nervous breakdown? What are some signs?
You know what? It's kind of hard to say the signs because you do have kids that hide it, that they don't show it to their parents, that the child and the parent may not have that type of relationship for them to know. So I would say it's important for the parents to talk to their children, talk with their children. Mm-hmm. Not because a lot of times parents talk at their children.
Right.
That when they talk is usually to give a direct order or to ask a question. Mm-hmm. That deals with the household, whatever like that. Mm-hmm. But just to ask questions, ask them, how are you feeling? What do you know about COVID-19, or even outside of COVID-19, what's going on with you? Mm-hmm. And let them know that when they talk to you, it's a safe place. Now, I also say that if you and your child don't have that relationship and you have some that's like that, if they have an adult in their life that they trust and that you trust, then let them talk to them. I always brag about my nieces and nephews. They may not tell their mama nothing, but honey, when I come around, I mean, it just be oohs and it opens. Mm-hmm. But they know that we can talk. And just like, even if some of them is going through something, I know I don't pressure them, but I'll ask them, but I was just like, well, I always implement, you can talk to me, you can talk to me. This is a safe place. This is how we roll. And then they finally, when they know that it's safe, even though it takes them forever, mm-hmm. we talk about it. So it's all about talking to your kids and taking your kids' issues seriously. Mm-hmm. We need to stop telling our kids you shouldn't be stressed out about that. That's nothing to worry about. No, it is something to worry about because it's bothering them. Talk to them because, what stresses us out may not stress them out. But again, and vice versa. Mm-hmm. So we have to be very mindful when kids are expressing to us about what are stressors for them. Mm-hmm. And if we do that, honestly, we can decrease, not eliminate, we can decrease the nervous breakdowns.
I totally agree with you on that. And one of the reasons why is because my daughter, when she first told me that she had anxiety issues, I didn't believe her. I was like, girl, you be okay, just like any other parent. We strong, you deal with this, breathe and go for it. But I really didn't know she actually had the anxiety issues until she just wouldn't talk to me. She just was like, I was crying. I said, well, what's wrong with you? And she was like, nothing. I was like, something is wrong with you. So I began to talk at her instead of talking with her and trying to figure out what was the problem. But then once we actually sat down down and she stopped crying and I stopped crying. It was more of, okay, now I understand what it was, and watching her hand movements too.
Mm-hmm.
Watching her body language was something that I didn't recognize until later. That even as teens and adults, with body language, how we may play with our hands and
Pick,
feeling
pick
on,
the fingernails,
pick the
pick their
fingers.
fingers,
Yes, yes. So those are things.
pull their hair.
Yes, yes. And I had a student at one point that I even had to call you on, and you even told me that this person was cutting themselves, but they were
Yeah.
crying out.
Yeah.
And it was something that I had never been through with an adult, or even as a child, with a child. And so it was new for me. So thank you for helping me. And she's doing
You're
well,
very
to
welcome.
let you know she did get professional.
Good.
And
Good.
so I'm excited about that. But like you said, we as parents, we definitely have to learn how to talk with our child and not at them, telling them and giving them direction, and because they won't be able to, connect with us. And you need people like yourself, not just from a mental health perspective, but from that aunt, that cousin, that other family member that the child will be able to come to. So parents, if hopefully you're watching this as well, we want you to understand that they don't talk to you. It's okay. Don't get hurt. I was hurt the first time my kids didn't talk to me either. That's why we built UCAN of Memphis, just to let you know. But that's why you have people who are there to help you. You have family and friends who are there to help you. That way the kids can go to them. It's not that they don't trust you, but they don't trust you right now. So, I mean, it is what it is. Well, we gonna gain that trust back. We gonna be all right. We gonna be all right. Now, as our time is running out, I do want to ask the question: how can adults support the teens, and what are some ways that teens can deal with the stress and overcome it? And you kind of talked about it a little bit in your last question.
Right. Well, I would say the best way how parents can support their teens is just to be there. The saying, your presence is the biggest present. So just be present, be aware, just be there for them, and give them what they need. Even if it is, okay, well, let's get you some help, and a help that's for them, not help to be a tattletale, tell me what my child is telling you or whatever like that. And for teens, I also tell, teens, of your friends, they may be dealing with something, be there for them. Don't become their therapist, and that's for adults too. But be a listening ear, because sometimes we listen to our peers quicker than we listen to our parents. I know that sounds backwards, but it's the truth. Sometimes it's the delivery. Sometimes we feel like our peers understand what we're going through because they're close in age, where we feel like the adults don't understand because the adults are old, but we forget the adults were once young. So, and weren't always wise.
That's funny that you said that, because even as adults, we don't tell our closest family member or the closest ones to us, our loved ones, how we truly feel. We hear what they're saying. We hear the advice that people give, but we're like, just like kids, one ear out the other. And that end up listening to someone else that they may not even barely know, or another close friend that maybe they don't love as much, but they're close friends. What can you say about those individuals who are struggling the in-between line of getting the genuine help, or so much either getting the genuine help, or why do they do it?
It's a trust issue. It's trust issue. It's an acceptance issue.
What do you mean by that?
If I tell you my deepest, darkest secret, are you still going to accept me? Are you still going to are you going to accept my feelings?
I'm gonna have to use it as our tag on this one.
Okay.
Will you accept me? Yes.
Yeah, will you accept me? Are you going to judge me? That's why you have so many. That's one reason why people come to therapy. It's not because, I'm dealing with mental health issues. It's I need to talk to somebody and I'm going to be judged. And that's why I tell everybody, this is a judge-free place. Regardless of what you have to share, I don't care how Jerry Springer your story is, and I have had some, or how bold and beautiful your story is, I will not judge you. I am going to truly help you with your situation.
I'm writing.
Okay.
Darkest.
Because it's the truth. It's the truth. I have a judge-free zone. I tell them, I said, at this hour, this is all about you, for you to be your true, raw, uncut self.
So is there a way to gain someone's trust?
You know what? People deal with trust, give trust differently. You have some people that make you jump through hoops to earn their trust. Then you have some people like, I'm going to give you a general trust. It's up to you to build up the level of trust or to lose my trust. You know, and usually when people make you jump through hoops to earn their trust, they've been through some stuff. There's a lack of forgiveness in their life.
You speaking now.
And you know, forgiveness is for you. It's not for the other person who you need to forgive.
Wow. Okay, repeat that.
Forgiveness is for you. It's not the people that you need to forgive. I think that's what I said.
Yeah, that's what you said. That's what you said.
Okay.
And that makes a huge difference, because people always say, well, do you forgive me? It's like you said, it's not about forgiving you. I need to forgive within myself.
Right. And it's like, you know, when people do apologies, like if I okay, say if something happens, say I offended you some kind of way, whatever like that, and I apologize to you. Me apologizing to you is for me, is that I'm accepting responsibility of what I did wrong, and I'm letting you know that. Now, whatever you do with that apology, that's on you. I did my part. Now, for you to forgive me, if you don't forgive me, then you're continuing to harbor.
Which causes stress.
Right, but for you to forgive, you're actually letting it go. Now, there's a difference between, it's a whole nother topic. There's a difference between forgiving someone and trusting someone again. I can forgive you and never trust you. I can forgive you and never fool with you again. I usually say something else, but children are watching this. So, so forgiveness is for, that's why I tell people, like I tell my clients, you can forgive, you'll never forget. The thing is for you to forgive and for you to move on. Because if I offended you and I apologize to you, but you won't forgive me, we can't move on. We can't progress. We can't progress as friends. We can't progress as professionals in profit. And I ain't do nothing to LaShondra. I'm just using an example. So, you know, I was just saying, we would never grow.
Right.
Well, you would never grow because I apologize. So I'm moving on. I did my part.
Right. And I love how we're ending this, because it goes back overall to the mental health issues of it, the stressors of it, because we can hold or harbor in those deep feelings of how someone has hurt us, and we can say I forgive them, but we've never forgiven within ourselves. So now our stress level, from emotionally, from a medical standpoint, from a mental health standpoint, from a physical standpoint, from a financial standpoint, because now we're just spending money just to be spending, so we cover up our own hurt. And then even from a relationship standpoint, and that's why sometimes people bully too, because they've never forgiven themselves. And this is from adults too. They've never forgiven themselves for what has happened to them in the past. So now they're acting out what they're actually hurting from to someone else. Ooh, I done said a word, girl.
And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm glad that you said that. I don't know if you watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, but
last fight.
Yes. So and when it comes to celebrities, I try to be mindful of what I say publicly. But Akbar is presented to be a bully.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But there's something deep down inside on why she is a bully. There has been some past transgressions, some past issues that she has not dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
And when she sees somebody else doing things that she feels that she should be doing or where she should be at, or things don't go her way, she attacks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That was the trigger.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But as you can see, when people get tired of bullying, that's like I said, and I think I told you it said at your conferences.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much turn the cheek somebody gonna take.
Exactly.
I only got 2 cheeks.
Right. Then what's gonna happen next?
Right, and that's when everybody. So
Mm-hmm.
I hope she gets the help that she needs.
Me too.
So,
I did see a snippet of it that was sent to me, and of course I heard the word bullying, and now my ears was all in, was like, well, what happened? And so
yeah,
I'm with you. I hope that she does get the help that she needs, and just from people that's watching, I hope that they get the help from this video as well, because you've definitely given a lot of nuggets for adults as well as teens to be able to help them to overcome their stress. As we end our lovely interview with you, Miss Brandy Flynn, what are some tips that you can give to our community to overcome this stressful situation that we have right now?
I said it earlier. Don't live in fear, but don't live carelessly. Mm-hmm. Meaning, take the precautions. Don't be paranoid with the situation, but take care of the stuff that you need to do. If you need to go somewhere, just go. You need to go and come back. Wear your mask. Mm-hmm. Don't congregate with so many people. Just be mindful of the things that you're doing, but still enjoy life. You don't have to be stuck in the house. Go outside, get some fresh air, go for a walk, exercise. You can still be busy. Mm-hmm. There's something that needs to be done.
Definitely.
So,
yeah. And I'm going outside today because it's still pretty, and I want to enjoy this little sunshine.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Brandy, so much for coming aboard
our
Tribe Thursday. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. I hope that you really get some great information, some nuggets out of Miss Brandy Flynn. And remember, how can they get in contact with you? Yeah, let's do that one.
You know what? You can go to my website, which is www.brandyjflynnccs.com. My Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, my book, the Beeline, everything is a one-stop shop.
It's on your website. Say your website.
On my website. Huh?
Let's say your website one more time.
www.brandyjflynnccs.com.
Can you spell Brandy for them just in case?
I was wondering that. So Brandy, Brandy, and Flynn, Flynn.
All right. So definitely.
And the letter J.
The letter J. Brandy J. Flynn.
Yes.
Make sure you go check her out. Get that cup of coffee. You know what?
Yes.
We're gonna definitely do a donation to you, and we're gonna get us a mug. I love mugs. I love coffee. So be on the lookout for that little something.
Okay, girl. I got you.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. Until next Tribe Thursday. We'll see you then. Have a great day.